So this move, called the Hannibal, I'm gonna start off in our low mount, because as soon as I mount it, I'm gonna assume that he's gonna struggle a lot. So I wanna get low and have my hands out this way. A lot of pressure on him. Once he stops struggling, then I can move to my higher mount right here. Put my knees next to his armpits. Okay? So, once we get to this point right here, what I need is first elbow to cross the center line. If this is an MMA fight, it's easy to loosen up his arms because I can hit him. His arms will start moving to protect his head. Move your arms. Then it's easy right from here to push across the center line. I just need it just barely across the center line. Okay, if this is a grappling tournament, I can't hit. So he's gonna have his hands down here like this. And he's gonna have much more support with his whole body right here. This is gonna be a little bit harder to move. In this case, I'm just gonna use a little bit of reverse psychology. If I want him to go this way, which is the way I always go, I'm gonna push this way first until I feel a little bit of pressure. And then when he starts pushing back, I'm gonna go the other way. This is only as far as I need him to go. I will need him just 1 inch past his own center line. Just right here. Once I get that, I don't wanna be here pushing with my hand too much because even though I'm a strong guy, I don't wanna get into a pushing contest. Steve is pretty strong too. So I'm not gonna use my arm to push down. I'm gonna take my chest, I'm gonna drop it down, right on top of his elbow, pinning it there. Right from there, I'm gonna reach behind his head, grabbing his wrist. So if I just grab here, there's only these 2 bones, I forget what they are, right? But as we get to the wrist, there's all these little tiny bones. So when I grab, I'm using these 2 fingers, or even these 2 fingers, around the wrist and compacting those bones together as much as possible. So it becomes like a handcuff. So I really, once I grab, I'm not just grabbing just to hold on a little bit, I'm grabbing, crushing all those bones together. Right, same thing here. When I get here, I'm making sure I really cinch that in and crush all together. So here, I'm gonna pull this tight, and now that I've controlled his head, I can take my weight off and switch to my S mount. I always want to stay as low as I can on him, but because I control his head, I also can come high. From here, I want to get my leg over this arm, right? So I can step, a lot of people will step, you see he can easily block it. Plus my weight is a little bit off here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stay here, grab this wrist and pin it down. And the reason that we call this the Hannibal is because like Hannibal who led the elephants across the Alps, I'm gonna walk my foot like a big old elephant across the Alps until it gets to your shoulder, okay? I don't wanna step it over, but I actually wanna walk it because it sort of hurts to have someone do this to you. When I get up here on his shoulder, I'm gonna trade his wrist for my foot. Now, again, this is another time we're gonna use a little bit of reverse psychology. Most people are gonna wanna turn into me instead of turn away. So I know that that momentum is gonna come. As he starts to turn into me, I'm gonna pull him into a deep triangle choke. And I'm gonna push him back. Even though I can finish real easily from my back, I always wanna stay on top if I can. And this is the position I want. I can hit from here. I can finish with the choke, finish with the arm bar here, arm bar here. The easiest one is the shoulder lock. Also, if this is not working, I can just take this here. Okay. And then I can also go for my spine lock if I can reach his legs. The other thing about that move that I really like and the important thing about it is you always want options. You always want options. The reason I like that is you have several different ways to finish that move from a safe position, right? So it's very strategic. It's like taking the higher ground. Once you've got that higher ground, you have lots of different ways that you can move, lots of different ways that you can finish the same thing like that. So if one thing's not working, you go right to the other thing. If that's not working, go to the other thing. If none of that's working, just go right back to the beginning, do it again, and you'll have your opponent tapping.